is a 7 First Alert Winter Weather Special.
After a very mild fall, this weekend was a slap in the face, a taste of what's to come. And we want to show you what kind of weather it's going to be for the winter. Your winter outlook is coming up, but first, Denise Isaac will show you how your school leaders decide whether to close your school or not. Hallie Vogel is going to show you how you can get help if the winter blues get you down. Chris Edwards, he'll let you know if winter is going to be changing and how it may change in the future. And Keenan Smith, he starts us off with some of the weirdest, wildest Michigan winter weather.
From bitter cold and biting winds to blinding snow and paralyzing snow depths, Michigan's winter weather can be extreme. The Great Lakes and lake effect snow can turn even a sunny afternoon into a white-knuckle evening drive. The Michigan record for the most snow in a 24-hour period goes to the tiny UP town of Herman. Back on December 2nd, 1985, the town received 32 inches in just 24 hours.
32 inches of snow in just 24 hours. Now that is a lot of snow. But the record for the most snow on the ground at any one time, well, that's enough snow to bury even the tallest human who's ever lived.
Eagle Harbor, Michigan had 117 inches of snow on the ground for 5 days back in 1948. That's over 9 feet of snow and enough to bury even the tallest human ever measured, Robert Wadlow of Alton, Illinois. He was last measured at 8 feet 11 inches tall. Those records were both in the UP, but the Lower Peninsula and Metro Detroit has weather extremes too. The blizzard of 1978 brought more than 2 feet of snow to parts of the Lower Peninsula and 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Detroit was hit harder 4 years earlier in the blizzard of 1974. That storm brought Detroit's second highest snowfall from a single storm, 19.3 inches. It was accompanied by wind gusts over 90 miles an hour and blinding conditions. But winter isn't only about snow. Cold is a constant companion. Michigan's coldest temperature ever, 51 degrees below zero, that was recorded in Vanderbilt, Michigan on February 8, 1934. Compare that to Detroit when the low sank to 21 below zero. That was on January 21st, 1984, but still 30 degrees warmer than Michigan's record cold. Winter also offers the unusual. These odd natural formations are called snow rollers. They form when small bits of moist snow are blown by the wind. As the snow rolls, it picks up more snow along the way, growing in size and width. But what happens when you have ice buildup instead of snow? Well, you get these winter weather oddities, balls and boulders made of ice. The churning sub-freezing waters of Lake Michigan can give birth to these types of ice balls. Eventually, waves bring them ashore. Sometimes they grow into full-grown ice boulders like these from the Sleeping Bear Dunes on the west side of the state. They can grow to weigh more than 70 pounds each. Winter weather is coming, and it's always full of surprises. In Southfield, 7 First Alert meteorologist Keenan Smith.
So you can see we've had extreme weather in the past here in Michigan, but what will be the trend of the future? 2016 is certain to be the warmest year globally on record. But climate change isn't just about warming. The impacts of changing climate will make a difference for our winter seasons too. Chris Edwards dives deeper into that story.
First off, climate change means that winter will be starting later and ending earlier on average, making for a longer growing season. For example, this year's first freeze was 3 weeks later than the long-term average. More intense precipitation events, both rain and snow, are already being reported, and they're likely to increase further. Yep, that means more big snowstorms are possible. We're also likely to see roller coaster temperature rides, always part of Michigan's climate, getting even steeper. Though it goes against what you'd naturally expect, blasts of cold air in Michigan may happen more often because of climate change. That's because the Arctic regions are warming much faster than anywhere else in the Northern Hemisphere. That warming drives changes in jet stream patterns.
As the Arctic melts, as the ice goes away, and that variation in temperature goes away, then the polar vortex will start to oscillate, and oscillate in ways that we can't yet predict. Quite possibly, it would bring blasts of colder air into Michigan.
This frigid air can then end up in places, like your neighborhood, that aren't used to feeling it. So even though the driving force is that the planet is warming, some places, for some periods of time, can get colder than they would have before. A U of M study predicts more intense lake effect snow in Michigan because of warmer lake temperatures and shorter periods of time when the lakes are covered by ice. Future winters will be different, But most climate scientists would agree that some of the changes are going to surprise us, no matter how hard we try to predict them.
That is surprising. Thanks, Chris. You know, wintertime here, too, in the Great Lakes state can be a cloudy mess. Hallie Vogel is up next to let you know how to fight cabin fever caused by those clouds.